Go.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the K-Pod. I got my cousin here with me today again for this episode.
Yes, sir.
Um, Before we start with the topic, how was your trip, bro? How was your trip? You were gone for like what, like a week?
For a week, yep. So what's up, everyone? It's Pheng. It was good. I want to go celebrate one of my cousin's doctorate party in California. It's pretty fun. First night we got there, drank a lot, and then from that point on, I just want to go visit one of my uncles. So yeah, it was a good time. Wish I would have stayed a little longer and got to hit up a few friends from the California area, but yeah, I had to come back. So yeah, for the most part, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I saw some pictures. I was like, damn. Y'all okay?
Yeah.
Y'all fucking drink a lot, dog.
Yeah, we drink a lot of IPAs and liquor. That was it. So
Well, at least y'all have fun. That's good. All right. So, since Halloween is nearby, I thought that maybe we could do an episode talking about scary stories, our experiences, sleep
yeah.
paralysis,
Yep.
stuff that we fucking saw. um, yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff that we experienced, and like, yeah, that's pretty much it. But and also, I don't know if I'm gonna be posting this on Halloween. I'm not too sure yet. Maybe I might post tonight. I don't really know. But yeah, if I post this on Halloween, happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. Be safe out there with trick or treating with your kids, or if you are a kid, be safe. Make sure you look through your candy. Make sure there's no blades or any like needles or whatever, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, happy Halloween, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode of us talking about spooky stories. But all right, let's jump right into some scary stories. Um, what what do you want to talk about first? Scary stories, getting slept on, scary dreams.
Let's start off with your earliest memory of like your scariest experience, like as a kid.
As a kid,
Yeah, like what's one thing that like traumatized you, like back then, to this day that you're still kind of like, oh shit, like dang, this is still like kind of scary. Or, like this still kind of scares me to this day. If not, like one was like, what was the scariest thing that you experienced as a kid?
mm, damn. Well, honestly, I don't really. It's not scary. It's just that Tokujima man. Like I just think too much, and then that's the only reason why it's scary to me. But there is this one time. I think it was back in 2007, 2009, somewhere around there, when Beto died. Like she passed away, and that was the first time I ever saw someone in a coffin. So then, like, obviously, talking to a man, which chop out you, but like, I kind of feel like traumatized. But obviously, because you know how some people say that sometimes when you look at them in the coffin, they don't look the same.
Yep, yep.
But when I first saw her, she still looks pretty much the same. She doesn't look any different at all. But yeah, when I saw that, I was kind of like, go kind of try. And then even when like, because my mom was like, oh, like, gaji by putting a thyroid hall before you don't see her anymore. Now and obviously I didn't think too much. Just my man, I want to go do it. I wasn't scared. I just want to go do it. And then after that, like, came back home, started thinking of scary stuff. And then there was a couple of stories about times where I went to my uncle's house. You know Uncle Powell.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. Go back Jesus Christ. Go back Lechea.
By the bitch, eh?
Go back Lechea. And like, they have like, so her room is like in down the hallway to the left, right? But then like, on the other side of the hallway, which is the kitchen and the living room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the hallway it's like dark.
Tụi là used to nhau lưu trí dạng như nè lưu, right? Or they still live in the same house that they do now?
So
Pretty sure they moved.
yeah, they did. So back when we used to live back at our old house, they used to live like right across the street from Roosevelt.
Oh shit, no way.
Yeah. So then me and my mom, we will always go like walk to their house to go hang out with them, and then
Yeah.
walk back.
Yep.
But yeah, then eventually they moved to the one that they're living right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then yeah, they moved while she was still alive, and then I think a couple years later, I think she passed away. But anyways, jumping right back down to the story. So that hallway, right? Always like dudunya.
Mm-hmm.
It's always black, and like I always have this scary thought. I always, ever since I saw her in like monk clothes, in a coffin, like I just can't unsee that.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes, like with my man, like I always have that thought where like I might see her standing at the end of the hallway, and that always scares me.
In that
lot.
same house or just
In that same house,
Hmm.
the house that they're living right now.
Yep.
I always had that like scary thought that like, man, like I know she was a nice grandma and everything, but I don't wanna see something like that, you know. And then there was a couple of times where, in that same exact area that I was talking about,
Mhm.
I think someone said that they took a picture and they saw like something dunya standing right in that area, and I was like, oh,
right where you pictured.
yeah. And then Odo would like
Yep.
"Kaya chaya," and I was like, holy fuck, no, that's scary as shit. And then, but yeah, pretty much, like that was probably one of the scariest things that like I don't think about it too much because like it didn't happen to me, but like like you made $3,000, but yeah, that was probably the only scary thing that I can really think of that I still remember to this day. Other than that, I don't really remember anything else. But yeah.
Forgive me because I just ate some spicy noodles. So kind of dying right here.
What about you, dog?
I think the earliest memory for me, like anything scary, it's probably these spicy noodles. Okay. No, but I think I think the scariest thing earliest for me as a child was probably like I don't know if this was real, and like I'll further on like why I didn't think this was real or it might be real. And so like I remember I was in the living room with my mom, and this is still the house that we're still in right now. And I remember like we were chilling there. I was watching TV. It was pretty late. I think it was right around this time too, because my dad likes to hunt. So my mom would wait for my dad to get back, and I believe at the time I didn't go to school yet. All my brothers and sisters did. So lời mù bư dòm gì á, and then chúa ứng nhau á. At the time I didn't have my sister yet. So I remember sitting in the living room and my mom was laying on the couch, and I remember somebody like opening the door and they go bỏ like thường nếu mà cho em movie in type was still kind of popular here. So I don't know if like the kid inside of me like envisioned that and then made it like pop up. And like one thing I do kind of believe but I don't at the same time is like, you know how like back then they used to talk about like, oh mi yo lấy có yêu chị giờ thì lấy tôi lâu còn here chị lấy bỏ tôi đá.
Oh yeah.
I still kind of believe that to this day, but I don't know. So at the time, I was probably just about to start preschool. Maybe, maybe not, but still, you still not here. But yeah, I feel like I saw bỏ cái tụi này tại đó like khi lúc ở đó and then you know like more của. And I remember like those nights were like really cold too, cause like you open the door, you can see like the smoke come in. Like you know how like when it gets cold and you're in like a hot atmosphere, you see like the cold smoke kind of like creep into the house, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I saw. I'm like, damn, yo. Là còn chuyện gì đó có thể bỏ tụi này tại đó thế freaking soundtrack there. So like I think that's one thing that like freaking traumatized me. And then I remember this one dream I had of like my brother. I don't know why I dreamt about this, but like I was sleeping and then I woke up from my dream and then like like these Native Americans were like running around our house. And then at the time the movie Scream was popular too. So like I saw like like lông lũ mask nữa, and then they were walking around and they were carrying their like tám mũ with their like ôi trời nuôi đó. I was like, oh shit, this is kind of scary. And then like I remember somebody told me to go to, because I live in a duplex, right? Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I live in a duplex. So then I got out and then I ran to the other side, and then like because the other side people tu suka, and it just uh, edu- uh, just to educate, the cigar doesn't really like protect the house. It's just there for like wealth and money, along with but the cigar doesn't really do anything. It's more like cigar is a part of but that's a long story. But to carry on, I went to the other side to seek protection, and then I remember, I remember going in, and then these people like pulled me back, and then I remember seeing my brother Coop come in. He had like goblin ears and like he had like fangs, and then I like I like mua cho đi blong thải nó kề thải bao tư, and then I like chén cái này tự là tư mua khăn giờ đi á, and then I chuẩn cái đá phủ trời này thế I chuẩn cho Indian noise and là chủ biết lúc khoảng đó, so I was like damn, it's fucking scary. And then I remember somebody was trying to like push me out there to go talk to him, and then I was like, Gucci, yeah. And then I remember waking up, and then my brothers and were trying to wake me up. They're like, "Babe, why are you crying?" And I was like, "I cũng bông xuống rất cool, nó khá là cái cool, cool nó khá là cái cool, nhưng mà cũng chủ nó đáp bố." And then I remember like crying about that. That's one of the things that like traumatized me as a kid. I was like, damn, hell no. Like to this day, I still remember that dream. But yeah, other than that, like anything in person or like anything that I've seen as a kid, I don't think I have much. I mean, there's stories that go on from that, but I think we'll get onto that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can carry it on.
Honestly, though, I think when it comes to like being little kids and you see stuff, like there's so many stories that we can talk about.
I'll
That
move
like
this here, right?
yeah, it's fine. It's all good. Just so we're like yeah, there's so many stories that could probably just add on to that. Cause like I remember times where like told like go like with your brothers, big picture my man, and like they like
My lips are so red, bro.
yeah. Well, we're in the living room, and then I guess one of my fucking dumbass brothers were like nothing you pick up, and then they look off their fucking phone in the kitchen. They've been fucking trying, cause he said it as like hi Jordan, and then hey I don't know where. You know, like dishes, he kind of like boom, and then I was like,
Clank, clank,
yep.
clank.
And then I was like, what the fuck? And then we all just fucking like turn off the PS2, fucking book it upstairs.
Yep.
But
This is at your old crib, you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Lots of
Yeah.
memories there for sure.
not gonna lie, that fucking. As much as I love that house, the basement is probably the most creepiest in my
Hell
house.
yeah, dude. Every time I go down there, I always feel like weird.
Yeah.
Thế need your step here, need
Fuck
your step
yeah.
here. Chỉ do cho closed steps, huh? They
Yeah.
have like the openings.
Yeah.
So every time kid who boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
fucking go good.
I always had that initial thought that each other is on deep.
They joking.
Boom. Fucking yep. But
One time, I think one of your brothers did that. Cause they play hide and seek, and then one of your brothers like freaking joy. I think it was either cool or
I
it was
think
my
it's
foot.
cool. Nah, I feel like it might be cool.
Yeah, yeah. It might have been
Because
cool.
Cool's the type of person who will fucking do that shit.
I'm like, oh. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I don't have too many memories because I've been in my house for so long. There's there's so much memories there that the capacity that hold is just I just can't anymore. Thế tổng thấy gì? It was there was better times there than there wasn't any good times. So you got to hold that too.
Have you ever experienced anything that I guess you can say recently, or just something that just like we're like go watch it and then like go try it. Like maybe now too, I guess.
I think now, I don't know. It's kind of weird, because this kind of gets into this, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we share this into the episode, I guess it's okay too,
Yeah,
because this is more like solo.
yeah,
anyways,
but yeah, next
yeah.
time we're gonna
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
jump into that topic.
But anyways, like I think what I think a lot of things don't really scare me now. I think like for instance, like bar fights, or like if somebody like threaten you or something like that, like còn thấy you call you trai á, thế thì thế like cho ấy đá rồi thế ấy chứ gì, how you 这么说了 all that stuff like 你去说我的滚菜thế. um unless you balk in the homo, I mean, I guess that's a different story, but as a recent, go back to your question, as a recent, I don't think I've experienced or seen anything that has gotten me, on my toes or whatever. But I mean, there's stories, um, before now too that I could talk about or I could share. But um, I want to ask you the same thing. Like, have you experienced like anything as a recent, like you bought in the more instead of like bullshit? Because anybody could dream, anybody could dream. Anybody could dream about anything scary and like make that into an episode. But like to experience it, like you bought or like not even as a recent, but like ở bên trong tà lo có một tàu mua ý ải có một tàu G tây à, or 仔我都個當什麼 or like 因為我哋要貼咗嘅個冇冇
Um. Well, remember how I told you that every once a year I always have this experience of like seeing stuff,
oh yeah
deja vu, bad dreams, get slept on.
Yep.
I'm in that phase right now. I'm telling you that right now. But I've been seeing a lot of stuff in my house. Does not mean that there is some stuff that are in my house, but yeah, like sometimes like I'll be downstairs in the corner of my eye, I'll see something just moving. And
oh
then,
yeah
and I'm those people where like I don't like ignore it. I'm those people where like I turn and look right away. Like I don't like to ignore that stuff. Like if I see something in the corner of my eye, I need to look at what it is.
yep
But yeah, that's
that.
been going on. But just a couple of weeks ago, that was happening so much where it was kind of like bothering me a little bit because it wasn't just happening inside; it was happening outside also when I was doing yard
Sure.
work. Because sometimes I thought that my mom would come outside and go to the corner of my eye.
They
No
hit
one's
you,
not
boy.
there. Yeah, no one's not there. And I was like, damn, this is getting fucking annoying, you know? Like, I'm not super scared, but I was like, this is getting annoying where, like, it's not even scary to me anymore.
Yep.
But, getting, like, slept on, I haven't really dealt with anything like that in a while. Knock on wood.
This is plastic.
Nah, this part's wood, dog. This part's plastic. That's why I knocked on this part. But yeah, I haven't really experienced anything during this time or this year or last year.
Mm-hmm.
But way back when we were in high school, I think that was probably one of the moments that I've probably experienced more stuff.
Yeah.
But shit.
So not so much within the past few years.
Yeah,
just kind of like
probably nothing so far.
more like premonitions, or like you just kind of have a sense
Yeah,
of certain things around you.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Just nothing. Yeah.
I feel like everybody kind of gets that. Even me. Like sometimes I would get that. And sometimes you just you kind of mind your own business, and then you watch it. But like I don't know if I said it on the last podcast, but I was like, I feel like I'm pretty real with myself and like a lot of things. Or like the botchy off the corner of my eye. I don't think of it as like, oh, he'll die right away. I'm just kind of like, oh, like the whole time, or like, man, maybe I'm just tired, because I am tired. Even right now I'm tired. But Oh, it really be like that though. So, I guess to carry on from, recent experiences, what about like getting slept on and stuff? Like, what's your experience of like macho and like, how did you go about like resolving that issue, or like, did you have any like dreams of like you more a down on go, or like, um, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
could go about that too.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
get like it gets like pretty deep. So
Yeah, yeah. I guess I can talk about my very, very first time macho.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, you know me for a while. You knew me for a long time. You knew. I'm pretty sure you remember there was a time where like I told you I never got slept on before, right? I'm pretty sure you remember that, right?
Luca, yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Oh my
Mike,
god. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes, but
Mike.
anyways, the first time that I got slept on was at my sister's house, which is right across the street.
Oh,
And-
okay. Yeah.
And like, good mom, bye babysitter, and we slept over. And I was sleeping on the couch, and they left the lights in the kitchen on because
Okay.
sometimes
Low kitchen, yeah, I luôn. Where it's like you,
it's like connected.
yeah. Thế you tờ gì chia là luôn, right?
Kinda.
Kinda.
I don't know if you remember what it looks like.
I do, because I remember có bài mua luôn pancha nhá, in the living room nhá.
Yeah. It's
And then dining room's over there.
Yeah, it's like a little hallway, and then
Yep.
I know, then kitchen,
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Last time I went in there was thôi có sister mua cái nhớ
Yeah.
lúc đó tệ.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But anyways, yeah, continue.
Yeah. But we were asleep. My mom and all my nephews and my niece were sleeping on the ground, or some of them were sleeping on the couch.
Uh-huh.
I was sleeping on the other couch that was kind of faced towards like Lue kitchen.
Uh-huh.
So then, in my dream was that my little nephew, right, was standing in the kitchen, and here's the thing too. When my nephews and nieces were small, they've seen some stuff in that house,
Oh, okay.
and like
It's kind of like foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, but like I don't think there's anything in that house. But I think it's just that I made a ball.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
But anyways, going back, in my dream, one of my nephews were like, in the kitchen, right? So in my dream, I like woke up from something, and I saw my nephew standing in like the kitchen,
Mhm.
and the kitchen light is the only thing that's on. Everything's just dark, and then my nephews, and they call me Uncle Petey, just like you guys know that. But so then like I woke up and I was like, hey, hey, what's wrong, buddy? Like, why are you up? Like, why are you standing here? And he was like, Uncle Petey, like, there's someone standing over there. And I was like, what? I was like, who? Like, who? Like, what do you see? And he was like, I don't know. It looks like an old lady. And I was like, oh my god, like I wasn't thinking too much, but like, boy, but I mean, she like in my dream, nói try không mấy giờ fuck, chúng mới tập nói nữa gì. But
Nông cày gia ta.
yeah, and then after that happened, right?
Oh my god.
And then well, honestly, I don't think I stood and went to go talk to him. I probably just asked him when I was still laying in the couch.
Yeah.
But he said that and he got scared, right? So then he ran and got on top of me. It wasn't him that mukuchua. It was the lady that came after he ran to me. More both of us jaw.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So that I don't know where he came and got on top of me because he was scared, And he's kind of small too, so then like
Yeah.
he just jumped on top of me, and then next thing you know, like boom, something just came and got on top of both of us too, and then that was the first time I ever got like sleep paralysis, and then this was around the time too where I was learning y'all like gogong and all that kind
Oh,
of stuff
yeah,
too. So
yeah.
then when that happened, I got fucking knocked out all these spells down.
Gotta bust them out.
Yep.
What a chic.
Yep. I thought I couldn't even say it because I was in that process of like, because like that was my first time experiencing it too. So then like
Yep.
I didn't know what the heck was going on,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I can't get up. I want to get up. I can't get up. I don't know what this feeling is, you know?
Yeah. So do you believe in like I know we had talked about this before, but do you believe in uh like toimacho and then you I've been told by like a good friend. I don't know if you remember Cecil, Molly and
Oh, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah. So he always told me he was like, "Yo, you macho, you should move your pinky first, and then the rest of your fingers, and then you might move though your body." I've tried that many times, but it hasn't worked for me. Like, what do you believe in that'll break you free instead of like
Um,
cause you do ball head, right?
um, so here's the thing about me. I'm like, I used to be, I am kind of still, but a little bit stubborn. And my stubbornness actually helps me during those moments. And what I mean by that is that there was a couple times where I like got slept on. So there was the one time I got slept on in my brother's room, right? This is when I was still sleeping in his room,
Mm-hmm.
and like she joke okay, but she like something like so my foot was off the bed like this, and then I just kind of like boy man, and I bought something kind of like joke and I couldn't move, and then like
I think I remember this.
yeah, you probably remember this,
I probably.
but I got so mad where like go pay moving on, they eventually boom, turn around, turn to sleep on my side, moved, and I was sleeping perfectly. I was like, God damn, you know, like, cause I was trying, cause like, in that process, I was trying to move my body to the side so that like I can put my foot back into the blanket, and I was trying so hard, and eventually that's when I just like knocked into senses. Boom, turn, move foot on the side of the blanket. God damn, man. But that was probably one of like my experiences.
You were just fighting another blanket holding your leg.
Yeah. But back to what you're saying too. Yeah, like I said, I think just being stubborn. That's also what saved me a couple times.
Yeah.
But growing up, my parents always told me. I don't know if your parents told you this, but they always told me that if you can, try to like
No, I
And-
never spit. I'm just like
but
I don't know, cause my mouth is like always dry when I wake
Yeah.
up.
yeah, but I have tried a couple times. I think I did do it once. I'm not too sure, but
God till he drowned.
my brother Ku, he's done that before.
Okay.
Where he like got slapped and he spat on it and it went away.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've tried to do that, but it's just like
Yeah.
like fuck, you know, like
Yeah.
move, you know,
Yep. That's how I feel. Plus, like every time I watch it, it's always like when I'm like already like kind of lit or like intoxicated,
yeah,
and then you might move and then you might
yeah.
and then so it's like you do shot, so you just kind of let it happen, you know. Yeah, you just let it happen, you know. Like you đi có vô cho like you do bài you đi but like you do có vô because you're like dry throat, so it's like dude, it doesn't help. Like even like yeah, the you don't hold sound you know. Like I've heard that you get cotton mouth and all that stuff too, so yeah, that doesn't help. So
My jaw.
yeah, you just let it happen, you know. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess to carry on from that, I'll explain some of my experiences now. So, like with getting slept on, right? So I remember, like it's probably 2-3 years ago that I was experiencing this, and every now and then I would experience this, but it wasn't as harsh as how it is now compared to back then. Back then it was a little bit harsher, but compared to now, you chua mo kan you chua mo kan chai, but
Do you still get
anyways.
like nervous?
Like getting slept on.
Well, just like
I don't think like I'm like nervous to get like
just like when you like see stuff when stuff happened to you during that moment. Do you,
like more hard to hear.
I guess we're like
Yeah.
we're like como call like chinchaya, but then like you have that nervous feeling like you still kind of feel nervous a little bit, but at the same time, it's kind of like what you're doing is just like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, just go back to what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll try to think about that in the back of my head. But yeah, I remember it's probably like 2-3 years ago, and I was working at Valvoline at the time. It's an oil change, so I was just doing like oil changes, and I was pretty much just servicing vehicles that came in. And how our workplace was is like they have a top portion, which is like the main floor where everybody knew like that's kind of where we come in and out, and then they have a basement. So I got to the position where they would let me go into the basement, and then I would like change oil down there. So we were short staffed for a few months, so I would be down there alone, and like they told you kind of scary hell no call. Like yeah, there's constantly cars coming in and out, so like you like they at a stone china, but um I'd be down there alone, and like sometimes you ball like they know off the corner of your eyes too, like you do just outside him law.
Yep.
It's like you ball, and then I remember this one particular night I dreamt that muy tu. So I dreamt that thằng nào cũng chừng cực cực anh hiểu.
Yeah.
So thằng or của nhà cực anh. And then I dreamt that I was in like this straw house. Cho nên chế sống nữa, cho nên chế cho nó mới chả chế cánh nữa. And then in my dream I had like a spouse too, but then you each bought luôn trên mua. But they were doing their own thing. I was doing my own thing. I was like by the lúc and then I was trying to do something. And then that day too, nu họ nhưng tiền này you feel tao có tiền nó thế mà thế you nhưng bỏ hoa này ha. And then cũng bỏ like ở từ chỉ tua có đợi có của lúc ở trong này của tớ trẻ nhưng ở từ về chỉ năng ở từ túi lúa thế chỉ you bỏ lại luôn trên má. And then gọi là có của lúc ở trong là gì gọi thì I forgot what my name was in my dream, but then they called me by like a name. It was like So something.
Like an old name.
Yeah. It was like a OG name. And I was like, what? I like in the back of my mind, I was like, what? I don't. That's not my name. But like in my dream,
but you answer to that, right?
Yeah, in my dream, I felt like they're calling for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I heard it, and then like my spouse in the dream was like, oh, I'll do and then the younger guys were like, oh, nếu mà trả nếu chỉ trả gì, yada yada yada, bây giờ bây giờ mình chỉ có lợi đó, giờ nó thả na. And so I was like, oh, okay, you tụi họ gì, tờ một sai giờ lên tiền, thế thì cũng chỉ tờ một sai đồ thôi. Của nhau inside nó chỉ là nó sẵn đồ nó chỉ mua ấy còn hệ nó ở trên này tờ trong đó, where it's kind of lifted, Yeah. Chỉ của nhau inside đó, and then cái gì thì nó giờ whatever my name was của tôi cũng bé hốt giờ nữa sao mà giờ tôi nói thì nó lùi trái thì có giấy tôi cái thế giờ đang này xa tôi thọ có mù nó xa bây giờ nó bây giờ vô mù đây là thế trả bây là mù này thọ có nó bây mù thế. So instantly like in my dream thầu của bố để lừa tôi kia giờ nó vậy của bố để lừa thật giấy từ trọ liền á, cause you know how like back then no plans they were like oh yeah so we bought it all từ tôi này vậy như miệng bông rồng này á. So I was like oh shit like thằng nào mà you chỉ trong cái mess around here. So I was like oh only nói đó từ tôi rồi tụi này nó cho ấy lừa trả này chỉ chiều của nè tụi này nó lừa trả này chỉ như tụi chúa sư tụi chỉ cái gì chị qua nó giờ thì giờ sáng nay giờ muốn này chị này muốn thiếu lửa tù này cũng đây cả đi nung tàu thế chị qua chị cũng qua ba đi tàu này mà nó nên muốn này là đúng mà lên giờ thì muốn chiều nó là nên mà chị nó cũng mà lấy tua ba nó chị they insisted that I would go help and guide their grandpa, and I was like no I can't, and then they wouldn't leave. So then in my dream I gave them my gong, my shaman gong, and then là tại biết tổ tôi có khả năng là chơi biết mùa do hai tia lần lúc có chuyện tua nè chị bây giờ đã có là tổ có đó. So in my dream I was like đi cho có bộ phim nó muốn nó ấy lần lúc của mà lên trở nên cá tua. And then after that they were like yeah do nhau luôn đấy. I was like oh only nữa đó. And then they left. And so fast forward, right? I woke up. I was like, okay, what the hell? What kind of dream was that?
Before I
Yeah.
before I cut you off a little bit, do you feel like they were like setting a trap for you? Like, do you feel like you're being baited into something that you don't know?
I felt like I was, but at the same time, it was like pretty genuine, because like it seemed really formal with the way
Yeah.
how they were coming off.
Like, it just sounded too formal, or
Yeah.
just, just didn't feel right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. They were pretty good. Like tỏ tiền lấy pay lấy lâu đây lâu chợ nữa thế mà.
Pretty much did what they do when
Yeah.
like little taught you to do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but everything was done outside. Like I didn't invite them in. I was just
That's
like,
good.
oh, tôi là. And then I just kept saying like, oh, đi tôi đi mua lửa chi. I never said like, oh, lo trẻ.
Yeah.
And then anyways,
Yeah. Back to
I fast forward a couple days, a few months later, I dreamt that cũng mua tay này rồi. Cũng mua tay gì của ấy lúc cận đâu thế. Chị cũng mua tay này chị cũng chơi đá game này chị. There's a path that splits. Chị mua lúc bắt rễ nhau hòn đôn đá. And then lúc bắt rễ nhau hòn đôn đá nữa mà mua ý tu lòng câu rộng để thế thế chuyện tin nó có tua của chứ thế nữa đã lúc cho ấy nó cho bóng nữa mà. Chị nó nếu ấy lúc cận đâu thế. Thế nó liền they chụp lâu nó nói những xây những người ta rong câu cơ nó theo mà in my dream. And then so I got there and then all of a sudden I was like oh tụi mỗi ấy cũng chỉ bốc cũng kiếm và một trẻ nó giờ thì có bắt đầu cũng và của trẻ nó là cũng mà đi đọc or whatever right ba có or like cũng mà đi mới khỏi bộ phép nó có ấy or not bộ phép mà mới khỏi cũng đi nó có ấy đó có mùa mà. And so she was like touching her hair, like brushing her, braiding her, whatever, right? And she turned around and then she was like, "Oh, tôi là Lương Nu." Nó giờ thì có cho kiểu nó muốn nhắc cà phê nó chứ. Nó cũng cho có lúc rõ nó mà cũng nói thì giờ thì cho kiểu nó muốn này chứ nước sạch luôn cho kiểu nó. So I was like, "Oh, only có là okay, only đỡ mà chứ cũng mua cũ ở, ấy có mà nhau đó." And then she like, so I was walking down that path and she stopped me. She was like, "Oh, tao mới cho." And nó cụ tư tao tao nó nói cụ chỉ bỏ cụ tu mình cho tôi cụ chỉ bỏ cụ tu mình cho lo bể té lo đi giờ thì có chỉ sai cho nó cũng đâu có mù thế. So I was like okay yeah that's fine. So cụ thì tao cơ mà tu mua chữ mù mù này chị thử mù tới ba xí tới xí tháo đi dụ do nó có lo đâu thế. And like in the movie you know có thứ cụ rồi cũng thứ có đưa cụ rồi cũng đưa con. And so it was like you know movie nữa mà. And then it's not gay right. And then there's this beaten down path and she was like oh lúc nung che nó có sao cũng là chơi nó xứ to rồi nó chắc cái nó mù chắc là phải cũng lúc rõ này cũng mù cũ này có sát trời của cũng muốn đi nó cũng mù cũng này vậy lựa rõ mà đi trở sinh khỏi chơi nó nữa. So I was like okay I thought it was kind of weird because I'm like oh this path is kind of beaten down but whatever. So okay what in the mà. So I went on my way. Next dream, I dreamt that we were at a garden house. We had a pretty sexual relationship. Like we got to the garden, we did it. It was like yeah, dude. Everything felt like super real. I was like, holy cow, dude. Like this can't be. It felt so real. Like from like the touch, everything, like the hair, everything, the air, everything felt so real. And like yeah dude like it literally felt like that. It literally felt like holy shit like
it's too good to be
yeah
true,
it was too good.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was like infused and like sucked into this dream.
Yeah.
So like really you just chỉ lo thế á. Then
Yeah.
you feel like oh shoot I gotta go back.
Yeah.
You know. So like every time I would wake up like I would always feel super drained and I would feel like shasha and like mind y'all around that time too I went out a lot. So I would go out and like I used to work 11-hour shifts 5 days a week or it'd be 6 days a week and Sundays were my only days off really, but it kind of varied throughout the week. Like some days people would take your shift so then you throw shawl or like a few hours you shawl But um, for the most part, like yeah, I would go out and then like get lit, come back home super late, sleep, and then I would only sleep like 3 4 hours, and I would wake up at like 7, go to work, and get off at like 7 or 6, come back home, eat, and then go out again and just have fun, go get lit, right, go party. I just do the same thing. So I feel like that kind of contributed into like my slumber too, right? 'Cause
Mhm.
that puts you in like a deeper slumber
Yeah, yeah,
where
yeah.
like you're not really aware, even when you're in your sleep. So that was kind of one of those things too. So like I feel like that played a big part into like why I felt so drained and tired. But eventually I kind of like died out from that. I just kind of like strayed away from that. And even after that, I was still feeling the same thing. So that went on for like a good like 3 months. And every time I dreamt, it was always at the garden house. We're always like having doing sexual shit. It was like I was like, damn, like why is it like why do we do this all the time, dude? Like let's like do something else. Like we're in like a old school ass setting. We're like, dude, man, we're freaking Mongols. Like, dude, quỷ lúc cờ có ba ý bó sữa của nó là có món tỷ hỗ trợ long trời có món thổ là do mỏ thế các cái so it's like dude like we gotta progress but like it was yeah it was so stupid but anyways so one day I finally dreamt that I was
Wait,
taking a
so these dreams are like
it was reoccurring
different times.
yeah different times
but
yeah
it's connected.
yeah but it's all
Okay,
connected
okay.
And what's funny too is that every time when Bosho I grow there, she would like change her face would change into these other different faces. So then
Familiar
like
faces?
yeah, but the presence is like very familiar.
Okay.
Like I've never seen her before, but the presence is still you still
Yeah.
feel the same.
Personality and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
it's still the same. So I'm like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah, yeah.
And like even my girl, she was dreaming that I was cheating on her too, like constantly. So I was like, one day I like kind of thought to myself at work, I was like, oh dang, like if she's dreaming about this that I'm cheating on her, then there has to be a special connection with why I'm dreaming of like this girl that I
Yeah.
that I'm that I'm
Something
with all the time.
spiritual, Yeah.
Yeah.
Connection, yeah.
So I was like, dang, like I need to look into this. And then so as soon as I thought of that, I went to sleep that night, and then I was taking this girl home, the same girl. I was taking her home. I was walking her home, and then tay mới từ thấu lộ nữ tao cái opposite the cụ theo, and then tao cái lo, and then it was like shoulder to shoulder, nữ làm phá của nó, and then he like fell over, and I'm like, oh, vì tôi, ôi chả có trường phá của nó, I was like, oh, I'm like, oh, tháo sẽ gì thế, thì nó của chia cái sao rồi. And then cũng trying to shut, and then like he gripped my arm super tight, and then like he pulled me in, and I was like, dude, I couldn't pull away. Like his grip strength was so freaking strong, dude. Like, 就你一做说没有 key 没有把这种你知道 then你 freaking 多个杀千八 then 你嘟个了 then 你也得你嘟你呢个mua chỉ lọ nó我讲个中领导 so I looked at him kind of weird. I was like, what, like why are you saying it like that, like
Yeah.
抽着cũng cũng nó mù thắt chân cũng nhóc thắt chân rồi cũng lò lên nó lò rồi cũng tự nhiên tụi cô xin là sao, and then he gave me like that look like, are you high?
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
look. And I was like,
Yeah.
chỉ có một hồi cho bác cũng đủ rồi chả vậy. No, yeah, he was like, okay, and then he looked over because the girl that was with me, she was behind me. He looked over my shoulder, and then I was thought, Mr. Vampire. I don't know if you seen the movie where I jet to die, and then I keep, I see who.
Sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
you probably seen it.
Yeah, you probably played.
Yeah.
You guys probably played it a couple times when I was old.
You probably seen it.
Yeah.
But the master can see the ghost, but you can't see it. Don't call you through my mong, huh? But anyways, the tolo you low hell like grandpa in their age.
Oh damn.
But man, that motherfucker had a grip, dude. And then he's like, dude, nó có bác của sở sao? And I was like, okay, well, I don't have a choice. Anyways, you're gripping me kind of hard.
Yeah.
So go trying to show, and then he was patting my back. He was like, oh, oye no, dude, mua có tiền đấy chứ, hiểu gì thế? ê nhớ nó sao mà mù thế nè nó có nhớ nó cho cái mù nó chơi một năm mà dùng nữa thế so I stopped for a minute I asked him I was like hey chị you had the có tàu cho cái nó lò bây giờ có bỏ thì một đa có ý lần xưa có bỏ tàu luôn à rồi cũng mà cũng tôi mua lò thế không cũng mà nhà nó cũng tôi chỉ biết tôi rồiแต่是小家cũng bỏ nó ha lấy cái lý do chi ha cho cha nên là hai lũ tự giải nữa so I was like oh okay you know whatever
Yeah.
so I was like okay ôi đâu mà ê nhớ nó cũng mà mua chế rồi thế cho cũng đủ nó chơi cũng mua so they chỉ like okay ôi đâu mà em đi mua nè nè là cũng mua nó chơi tê I girl chơi like trip yeah she fell over boom 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 fell off the side she's like whoa and then she was like "这故事知道了" I was like I was like you know like those OG movies I was like dude really but like in the dream it was like so real so you were like in the moment you're like oh shit you know what happened so she was like 这故事知道了八股two 股杀的 and then I was about to reach for her hand and then they could grab cái shot there they just thấu and then thấu like he pulled me in again he was like me too có nhớ chút tông còn nó nữa có cả chim múa so like right there and then I felt like with Jubli like he pulled my soul into like this other world to like tell me like hey you gotta wake up like this isn't right you know and
Doctor Strange.
yeah dude Doctor Strange yeah it was literally Doctor Strange
World, whatever the fuck
yeah dude it was literally like Doctor Strange like he just like boom and I was like oh shoot I was like oh damn you know like damn so he was like me too qua đó có nhớ chút tông là còn nó có yêu một cái chế có một con này có trong một số kiến là một bỏ xia đấy chỉ giờ chơi mù đấy chỉ giờ có ba cái chế đấy I was like okay when đó mà and at this point like only you do like kind of you make bệnh gì thế mà
Yeah.
so I was like oh okay yeah I gotta step out of it and then there I like zoomed back in and then thằng đây của tôi cái tụi nó có tè á của tôi cái tụi nó có tè này cũng trú được rồi and then tè mỗi cho sọ lên liền rồi tè kia kia apple and then tè mỗi cho sọ lên liền rồi tè kia kia của and then only cho Chinese people là mỗi luôn dạy China mỗi thua khi tama around the army do you lot
Oh yeah.
you're just spinning
Yeah,
spinning
oh,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
tè
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah and then I freaking thấu lộ với đó tè and then there's these three tall ass freaking like warriors like Mong warriors but then you like lên tông về nó trở nên hoodie Lilia nhưng bò kia it was literally like a hoodie but then tên bò kia it went all the way down to the feet
Yeah, that's crazy.
thế lời tô cái lò lại lời tô cái lò cái cánh thế lại mấy thứ mà cái đóคือ like kind of like a cho nên Chinese a folklore cho nên kể này tô kể
I think I might know what you're talking about.
yeah you might you know like the old dude in Black Myth Wukong that you see with the I didn't with the cane
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing of that. I only watched the beginning, but
you know what I'm talking
I think I know
about
what you're talking about.
yeah
It's just like a big, huge cane that looks
Yep.
like a kind of like a staff ish.
yep
Yeah.
and then so yeah there's one guy like that and then there's one guy that was carrying a fan but then the fan like much on detail you know and then you ball like the fan like slowly moved like this with the fingers too and then you draw behind it all and then he carry like he carried like a little ball like a little Johnny ball nhá hồi but it's really gold really bright
Like, kind of like a little ball or something.
yeah it looked ball and he came super they were walking towards me and then they just like dude like that and then I flew back and then I like ended up I was like no and then I like freaking ended up on my bed then I like woke up and I was like oh shit like I was super exhausted I was like damn and then a few months after I met my Sihu and then I told him about it my Sihu was like oh yeah I'll look into it I don't know if he ever did but after that like I got better so but here and there like I'll think about it like damn you know like does it just disappear like that you know like what did my Sihu really do to push that off and like yeah they could you know will that spirit come and find me again
What if he did do something about it, but it was just best to not tell you about it?
It could be, yeah, it could be. Well, he did mention like They roll you to share the you know, you been long go there, you been because I post on TikTok, you know, I post like music and all that stuff, and I used to go on live like a lot, but I would post like super sad music and like be in my feels and like yeah, you know, yeah, but like you know, like you cause you you know, you don't go there, like
Yeah.
damn, you know, you feel you really feel it, like when you used to choreography, like damn, you know, you feel the
Yeah.
music, you know,
Yeah.
so you get into like this kind of like a trance where you're like, oh damn, you know, like damn, feeling it. So they same thing with me with like music too, you know, like damn, if I'm really feeling music, I just get into the zone and I just play. But anyways, like I feel like uh I don't think that's what my Sihu was trying to say, but maybe it was like a point in myself where I was just kind of like, damn, I don't know why I'm depressed, but I just am. Or like maybe you la sad for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but maybe it created like a vulnerable point for Yanano la taku. But ended up finding out that like if this were to progress, it can make the person like infertile. You much tao nhỏ đâu khỏi tuổi đã là nữ sáu tuổi là đời bự tu pretty much you tung chu một đau nữa mà nó chỉ one còn nữ tao ít tuổi chỉ tung cỡ thế
Mm-hmm.
chỉ two to make you infertile so you much tao nhỏ
Yep.
and then three take your life pretty much so they know which both hết thế mà thằng đó dude, man, I kid you not, man. It felt so real and like in my dream, like I actually felt like a part of me actually felt like, damn, like I really want to be with you. You
Like
know?
you feel like
It was real. Like it was
actual
intimate.
happiness.
Yeah, you know. Like she made me feel like good,
Yeah.
you know. But like how like y'all lo beer where they're like, you know, đã thật sự ôn lên yêu đôi yêu có những nhẹ nó chỉ yêu xem mù chỉ because they know, you know, they just know how to like get that part of you, you know,
how to bait you in.
right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was it, you know, like sau đó cơ yêu都chỉ nhẹ nè, sau đó cơ là đều yêu jail hồi yêu cao chơi rồi đều tụi đã đắc tua, you know.
Yeah. Unless it was kind of like a fantasy that that you kind of wish that could happen.
Yeah.
And they do it to you to bait you in.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like a fantasy, you know. Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. So yeah, that was happening to me, you know, 2-3 years ago for I'd like to say like 6 months, and I remember being like super sleep deprived too. You know, even after like my partying phase ish, kind of. I remember my mom had to call Lona to Hoopli and like look into me, and then ever since then I sleep like a baby, wake up, do my thing. You know, before it used to be like super hard, just like trying to knock out or like you know, so then you knock out like you ping sa so like you just don't I'm like damn, you know, like I never understood why, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the norm. Maybe I just overthought it. So then, what they know, but
yeah, but if it's like, you know, like obviously it wasn't like happening the next day. At least it wasn't right.
mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like happening once in a while.
Right.
Where it just kind of connect.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
know where. Yeah.
Trời nung rai lên dude. It was literally like part E, part all.
Yeah. But
Trời chúng một cái chỗ tụi cái tê và lại tụi cái cross the house.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe they like I don't know if this theory is true, but like one theory that I thought was really it wasn't really a theory. It's just like a cartoon or animation, right?
What's the cartoon?
You know Legend of Korra?
I know Legend of Korra, but I never watched it.
So there's a part where Korra was sitting at the edge of a ice cliff, whatever, right? And Korra was crying, right? Mm-hmm. And Korra's the Avatar. So then Korra thought Tenzin, which is Aang Tatua, was that came by her, right? And she was like, "Not right now, Tenzin. I don't feel like talking." And then the guy talks and the guy says, "But you called me here." And he looked up and she looks up. She turns around. It's Aang, Aang, like the older version of Aang.
Oh yeah.
And she was like, Aang, like how, how are you here? And then he was like, well, when you're in your like deepest like emotional state, it's easier for you to tap into the spirit world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this was when she lost her powers, so that Aang gave her powers back.
Oh.
So then she was crying because she lost her avatar powers.
State.
Like,
Yeah. Yep.
So she couldn't do any avatar stuff. So then that's why when she was crying, and then Aang showed up.
Right.
You know, kind of like
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but that's the reason why a lot of people don't like watching Legend of Korra, but I like watching it because they talk about a lot of spiritual stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's just super interesting to listen to. But yeah, that's
gives you like perspective.
Yeah. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, do you believe that being emotional or just like tutushe or like just depressed, do you think that draws in like spirits? Draws like you become like an anchor of somewhat?
I think
where like they're drawn into you, they come to you.
Yeah, I do think that being showing a lot of like, I wouldn't say like showing a lot of emotion, but like being like emotional draws a lot of attention, and I think that it it draws a lot of attention and attracts a lot of unwanted energy. And I feel like just overall, like it could just be you too, like you think about a lot of things, you know, so like you're obviously gonna draw certain things to you, certain whatever it is that you believe in, you know. But yeah, that you or like that you like I feel like that's also another thing. You know, I feel like there's so much. I'm sure there's a lot of stories out there of like people who and like and then like one day like something appears and it reminds them of their significant other, right? I feel like there's a lot of stories out there that are just untold, you know, from that aspect. So I feel like not even that, but like not even like from relationship, but like relationship to like family even, you know, like they still show signs of that they're there when you're at your lowest,
and they're still watching over you and
right,
that kind of stuff.
So I feel like to a certain degree you could still like tap into that, and especially I feel like it's something that's big within us. It's a part of us, you know. I feel like any of us could tap into it. I don't think that you even have to be like a shaman or like a medium to really tap into that stuff. I feel like it's one of those things where like damn I'm sure there's like that mini voice inside of you, even though like but there's that mini voice like when you're not doing good in school and you need to finish this test to get like your master's, your bachelor's, or your associate's degree. There's that small voice inside of you that's always like, oh, you know, or like you you know, mỗi khó chỉ rồi có bao nhiêu có you thâu còn nữa or bắt tell you. I feel like there's that aspect of us too. I'm sure it goes about with every lửa hài ninh. I feel like bây giờ mong mà we're I don't know the exact word for it, but we're in this like little circle of believing in that. Not saying every Hmong person believes in that, but yeah, I don't know how to go about that.
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm trying to say too.
I'm trying to understand what you're talking about.
I can't put it in words. I can't put it in words. I'm like right there. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I just can't find better words to really explain it. But yeah, I feel like you can really tap into that. You know, when you're at your lowest or in an emotional state. But yeah,
not gonna lie though, I feel like whenever I tell you my stuff that I experience, it doesn't sound, I don't know for you, but to me when I tell you the stuff that I experienced, you don't sound like
amazed,
too scared about it.
Yeah.
But then when you tell me about your stuff you experienced, I'm like, damn, bro, I don't want to fucking experience that. Like that one time we were telling I think you said you were showering.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you hear,
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit of that.
That's fucking scary, bro. That's fucking scary.
So now I'll start diving into like things that I've actually experienced
Yeah.
in person. 小薄膜爹，小薄膜大的，但是嘛，就力大，那么古别嘛，有容易有和别大的，容易去么个爹。But just my experience alone, you know. Anyways, so I remember I was probably in 8th grade at this time, and it was a hot summer day, probably mid to late July, I'd say. Um, I remember, in the summers, our cousins would come up and hang out with us, so then we would always stay up late. At the time, Walmart was open 24 too, I think.
Yeah.
So we would always go to Walmart, buy a bunch of snacks, come back, eat, watch movies, just kind of bullshit with each other, and then stay up super late and just knock out, wake up super late and then repeat. But anyways, I remember waking up pretty late this one day. I was probably up around almost 2 in the afternoon. It was like 1:20. Woke up and I was like, dang, I gotta shower. So I got up. All my brothers and them were in the living room. My parents, they were working at the time. My mom still works, but my dad doesn't now. He's retired.
This was like in the phase when you're like experiencing a bunch of shit, right?
Yep. This is just when like I was starting to find out that I was going to become a shaman.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
this is like the very, very beginning of it. So I remember waking up and I was like, dang, I should probably shower. I didn't shower yesterday, so I'm going to shower today. So I got up, went out to the living room, want to go grab something to eat. All my brothers then were out there. They were watching, I want to say football, but football doesn't happen in the summer season, I believe. But maybe they were just like watching, I don't know, replays or whatever. So anyways, I go back in my room, I grab my clothes, I go back into the bathroom, and mind you, I've explained this story before, but on my TikTok platform, but sorry. But anyways, yeah, I've explained this part on my TikTok platform before. But anyways, I remember getting to the bathroom. I'm like butt ass naked. I get into the shower, and I'm starting the shower. I'm like showering. What's some booze? Everything. And then all of a sudden, I hear, 一路说你呢, and it's coming from the vent in my bathroom. My bathroom is like really small too, and there's just one vent, and then the toilet's right there, and the sink's right there, and then the shower head's right there. Everything is like right there. Like you have, so to get over the vent, you have to walk across the room, which is only like 2 steps. I remember hearing low, or not, I wouldn't say low, but it was and I would do the voice, but I'm pretty sure you're scared, so I'm not gonna do the voice. But
I don't mind, but I don't think it's just allowed to happen in his house.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But you mean like the yeah. But then it was very fainted. So I had my shower head going on at the time, so I was like, oh, maybe it's just shower head. You and then all of a sudden I'm like, damn, like I feel like it's getting closer. So I turn off the shower head. I'm like listening, and then and then so I'm like, oh, there, shower head, and then turn it back on, doing my thing, and then and I was like, oh dang, vậy tụi nó queen panic yo, tụi nó li hay you liếc ăn rồi, damn dude, trời, đó là suy nó cái sai á, so tụi nó chỉ dùng ba lối đã đi chơi rồi, lâu chơi gì ba từ kia. So
you remind me of this one guy